Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here with another Naruto discussion. Today, I'm going to be looking at whether or not Sakura would have been better off learning Genjutsu instead of medical ninjutsu. Now, I know this might seem a little odd. However, I do think that Sakura would have been better off learning Genjutsu for a number of reasons. And before I go into those, I want to remind people of two things that happened in part one. The first thing is during the tuning exams when Kabuto and the rest of the Sound Ninja were attacking the Hidden Leaf Village. One of the things that Kakashi said was, Sakura, it was very much well worth it to have trained you in Genjutsu because you have a natural affinity for it. Because outside of Shikamaru, she was the only member of the Konoha 11, Shino, now that I think about it, who realized that they were under a Genjutsu, and she immediately went to action. It's because Kakashi trained her. And if you'll recall, during the bell test, one of the things that happened was Kakashi attacked Sakura with Genjutsu. And I think that that's exactly why she should have been a Genjutsu user, particularly because she ended up with Sasuke, and that's one of the Uchiha's calling cards, is their great ability to use Genjutsu. And here's the thing, when you look at the data book, particularly the Viz data book that was released that covers the first half of part 2, when you look at that, Sakura's data book stats aren't that far from Sasuke's in terms of Genjutsu. Sasuke had about a 4 in Genjutsu, and Sakura was a little past 3.5 for Genjutsu. And when you take that into consideration and the fact that she's actually got higher IQ points than Sasuke according to the data book, it would have made a lot of sense for her to use Genjutsu, since Sasuke is the member of Team 7 they're chasing after, and the Akatsuki member tasked with chasing Naruto and capturing him was Itachi, who was known for his Genjutsu prowess. Now, how could this be done? Well, during the time skip, one of the things that could have happened, instead of her being trained under Tsunade or just solely training under Tsunade, she could have trained under Kurenai. Because even if it was very briefly, when Kurenai stood up to Itachi during that fight during part 1, Kurenai very briefly held her own with Sasuke, which shows that her Genjutsu skills are very close to that of a base Sharingan, which says a lot because the Sharingan is very overpowered, as we know. So between Kurenai and maybe even training with Kakashi even further, Sakura would have been able to learn some pretty incredible Genjutsu techniques. And then when you take in maybe learning chakra control from Tsunade, or combining her medical ninjutsu training with Genjutsu training, with Sakura's immense chakra control, she should have been able to use some very powerful Genjutsu attacks. And I think a lot of people downplay Sakura's chakra control. It wasn't just through the medical ninjutsu that she was able to gain chakra control. She had the best chakra control in part 1, and you could argue that even in the first parts of part 2, when you compare her to Sasuke, again, when you look at the data book stats, when you look at the hand signs, they're just about equal. And so when you take that into account, that means that Sasuke closed the gap between himself and Sakura in terms of chakra control. And I think that that right there would have been amazing for Sakura in terms of character development. Then when you take into the fact that they did briefly fight Itachi, even though it was a watered down version of Itachi through that jutsu with pain, she had to break Naruto out of the Genjutsu. So again, more training under Genjutsu would have benefited her character greatly. And then the fact that the final villain before the actual final villain, Kaguya Tsuchi, spoiler if you've only watched the anime, Madara is an Uchiha, and so for her to use Genjutsu during that point, and for there to be the infinite Tsukiyomi Genjutsu, it just would have made sense for there to be another Genjutsu user, and how that would have impacted Sarada and the Naruto series that's getting ready to come up. I mean, both of her parents being master Genjutsu users would have been nice to see, and the fact that just from the next generation surpassing the prior one, when you look at the fact that nobody really surpassed Kurenai in terms of Genjutsu, that leaves a lot to be desired, man. Sakura should have had the best of both worlds, but those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you liked anything I had to say, as always, comment, rate, subscribe, and share. I'll greatly appreciate it, but that's it. Thanks for watching Kryptonian Saiyan. Have an awesome day.